Hello everyone, this is a short demonstration to showcase the production features of StoreApp. This is going to involve the creation of product, but we won't go in depth into creation of product. So I think to get started, we'll just show where production is being managed, and that is under admin, production management and production. So this is where you actually start creating production. But before you get to this point, there are some elements that needs to be set up first of all. So things like what products do we produce, the raw materials that are involved in the production process and all that. Because invariably, what production does is just to convert the raw materials that you have defined into a final product, which you have also defined. And this goes through a kind of a production process, and a formula is set onto how the raw materials make up the products. So I'll start by going under product management, that admin, product and services and products. So we have a separate video where we talked in depth about product management, creation of product and all. So if I want to watch that video to see more, to get more information around product management, the categorization of it and all that. But here I'll just be showcasing where you can create a product as either a raw material or a product that you producing now. So if you set out to add a new product, so let me just click on add product. You see that we can add all the details of the product. But then at the bottom here, we have a couple of checkboxes. So one of these checkboxes would indicate that this product is a raw material. So if I check this, after creating this product becomes a raw material, and if I check this, after creating the product becomes a product that is produced in-house. And the reason why we've done this is we want to be able to separate the products that are involved in the production process, so that if you have thousands of products that you manage within your business, we don't want a situation where every time you need to create a production, you have to search through thousands of products, So this gives us the ability to separate those products. So if you use StoreApp is a multi-business management system. So that means that you can have other aspects of your business, which maybe like a retail, where you have thousands of products, 20,000 products, So if you have the production management where you produce some items, you want to reduce that list as possible, and then we're giving you that opportunity to do that. So if it's an existing product, you can just right click on edit, select it, and you can still do the same, for those products. So after setting up this product, wanted to notice we have a separate list under production management where you can see all the raw materials, all the things that you use as raw materials for your product. So those they are not necessarily items that you sell, and they could be items that you sell as well. It doesn't matter, but we have this separate list which shows all the raw material. I think in future updates, we're going to have another list that would list out all the items that you produce in-house, as well. So that is just something to note. So one of these steps, towards creating your production is to set up a formula for those products that you've indicated that are produced in-house. So if you go on there, put a formula, you can set up how the raw materials make up the product. So if I don't click on this, you can see that for me to have one quantity of this particular product, these are the raw materials that are involved, and then they are in varying quantity, so this could be 2, for instance, and then you can submit and that would remain that way. It's just defining the quantity. So when you're creating a new formula, so if I want to create a new formula for this bread, let me just say bread, so out stacks add input. So this product only select from the raw materials, and I can use this search box to search for any raw material that I want. So if I want to search for one of them now, you see we have sugar. So I can just say sugar, and then I have sugar, So that's search will suffice when you have a lot of raw materials. So the first thing to do is to first specify the quantity, that of this formula, because there are times when you might not be able to specify all the product and make up just one because of the unit that is required. So sometimes you can just say, okay, this is what is required to produce 10 of design 10, So at the point of production, you are still at liberty to select whatever quantity you want to create for time, But this quantity just simplifies the process for you, makes it more relatable. So you can say, oh, if I want to produce 10 quantities of this bread, this is what it will take me. Or if I want to produce 100 quantities of this bread, this is what it takes, and you can just input all the formula as based on what would be required, to make 10 quantities of the bread or 100 quantity, depending on what you select. Then at the point where you need to do your production, you're not bound by that quantity. You can still say you're doing 45 quantities, and then the system will adjust the quantities of the raw materials, accordingly. So in this case, I can just start adding. So let's say I need flour, how many gram, just specify. So I'm just putting figures here. I don't know what constitutes. So maybe I need sugar. So I can just say, okay, I have sugar as well. I'm just putting whatever. So this unit actually comes from what you define under the product. When you're registering the raw material under product management, you can specify the unit, so that you don't get confused. And that's the reason why we have that displayed here to let you know that this is this, So let me just change this to, let me remove this, let me just change this to normal flour, So I was saying, and I don't have any sugars. I'll just say sugar, okay. And what else? Yeast. And probably, I don't know. So, whatever. I'm just adding things here. This doesn't actually make up the stuff. So, but when you're done adding all the product, you can just click on submit, and then the formula is done. So you can see that this formula is for 10 quantities of this bread, and then you can double click to see the constituents, and you can update them at any point in time. So is there other things that you need to add? You can add them to the list. So we can now go to production, which is the final point. So if you click on production management and you go to productions, then we can start a new production. So if you click on new production, all the products will show up here. And then we can select which of the products we want to do. So let's just any of this. So cook, fry, and stew. And how many quantity do we want to make? We want to make 5. And so the system comes up with this. So remember that I made an adjustment on that formula when I was showcasing the formula and say, oh, this is 1. We need 1 of this. We need 2 of this. And we need 1. So you can see how the system now changes everything to match up with the product, the quantity of product that we are trying to make. So in this case, once I am about to start the production, you can just click on start, and then it says you're about to. Okay, so the production is actually just created for me, but it's showing me the details of the production. So I'm making a production for 5 pieces of cooked rice. This is the batch number, when it was created. So this created date, and then you can see the end date here, which is like this production is not even started, and then the duration, the yield, and all of that. So all of those are still quite empty right now, until the production is started, and then concluded, then the system will be able to tell us, oh, this is how long this production took and all that. So I can just start the production. So he said, you're about to start a production batch. Then you need to set the store where the raw materials to be taken. So I usually want to continue. So I click on yes, and then I select the store where I have my raw material. And then so this also does a kind of a check on the quantities of the item, to make sure that we have enough quantity of this item. So you need to make sure, so that this is where inventory come into play. You need to make sure that you have enough quantity of your raw material before you can proceed with your production. So it doesn't stop you from adding the production, It's just when you need to start the production, you need to make sure that you have enough quantity. You can't make this without the raw materials anyway. So let me just do this to see the products. So I have raw chicken. So I don't have raw chicken at all, and I need raw chicken for this. So the rest of the products are available for raw chicken. I need 10. So let me just go and make an adjustment in my stock for raw chicken. So I actually don't have this raw chicken in the shop where I've selected. So I'll just check this back to shop. So let me try and use the warehouse instead. I can just use the store. You can use any store anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So let me say I've taken in 25 pounds. So usually this should be the normal inventory thing. Purchasing, this would have come to purchase. Do you understand what I'm saying? But for the sake of this video, let me just go to put on purchase, and bring it in so that I don't cause confusion. So I'll say making a purchase, or I can just do a transfer instead, since I already have the quantities in my warehouse. So I think that is better. So let me go to transfer to stores, because I can see that the raw chicken actually, I have them in my warehouse. I just don't have enough in the shop, so I can change this to shop. Make sure this is selected. Let me just reveal that I don't have enough. So you can see the raw chicken here. I don't have enough of it, so I can just select. So I need 10. I can just say add the 10 that I need. And so the 10 is added to this middle point, and doesn't mean it's transferred yet. We can still say that the raw chicken is still 0 quantity, but when I click on submit, then this gets transferred, So I don't want this printed, so them just submit. So that is it. So if I set for raw chicken, now you see that I have 10. So I have enough in the shop, to facilitate that production. So I can go back to production management, try and start this production, and everything should start without issues. So this production is started. So you can see this the status of the production says it's in progress. So sorry, I don't want to do it. That was a mistake. So this is in progress. So this would kind of track how long this production has been for, So this is less than a minute because that is the last time. So if I go back and I do a refresh, I start with less than a minute. So I will allow this to allow some time to pass, But I can try and see the details of production. So you can see that the details is now showing that it is created at this time, and then you were started on this date, and then the end time, is still in progress. So there is no end time yet, and the duration is less than a minute. So we don't have any output or percentage yield, and then we can see all the things that are involved in our production, and then we see the status here as well, which shows that this production is in progress, So the final bit of this is when we are now done with all the product, we can then click on finalize production. So, but I will let some time pass, so that at least we have a considerable amount of time. We don't want less than a minute. So while we're waiting for that, let's just try and see if we can start another production with one of the other products that we created. So if you click on this, I think the production was for bread, So we already have a formula for this bread. And then we can just click on submit and it tells us how many. So because we selected 10, it just defaults to 10. So I can say 100, or let me just say 45, So, and then when you do this, you can see that all the quantities are adjusted based on what we entered. The system would adjust all the quantities that are required accordingly. And this production is added by the way. So we just need to start the production. So this is the production here, production for bread of 50 mg. I can also cancel the production. If I created the production error, I can also just say, cancel this production, and the production will be cancelled. So you can see that the production is out. I don't have that production. That's if I've created that production in error. If I'm trying to create a production for a product that does not have a formula, so if I have a product that I've not set up the formula yet, what the system would do is to now start asking it to add all the raw material that I need for this product, So if you want to predefine the formula, the constituents of a particular product in terms of the raw material and the way they combine to make up that product, you can set up a formula. And then anytime you do a production, you don't have to go through this process. But if you just want to give it open-ended, you can just select whatever product you select the quantity that you need, you select the constituent of the product, whatever you're using at this point, and then you click on submit, and that will start the production, for you. So you can do your product that way to get, I think it's best for you to have that formula, so that it's easy for you to start up. Well, whichever one works, So let's go back to this production and we'll try and see if we can finalize. So we've been here for about 5 minutes. And so we can now finalize the production. So where we finalize the production, the system will also prompt us. So it's saying that you're about to finalize this production and you need to select the store where this will be supplied. So you're not compelled to select the same store, where the items came from originally. So I selected shop when I was selling these up. The destination store can be my eatery, for instance. That's where I want this. So this will just increase the quantity of that item in the eatery so that they can sell it. So you can see that I made 5 quantity do that. So probably maybe doing making this, I could have maybe I didn't have enough. I could not make up to 5 quantity. Or when I did it and I finished cooking this whole thing, I was able to make maybe 6 plates out of it. So I'm just trying to give an example. Of course, obviously, I will not be able to do this because the chicken involved, it's not like I'm going to split it over. But you can understand sometimes if you're making a product like bread, for instance, and probably at the end of the day, after making the bread, the final output maybe does not meet up with the quantity. Like for instance, in that production where I selected 45, maybe at the end, I ended up making 42 instead. Maybe 3 of them got damaged, they were burnt, or whatever happened. Or probably maybe at the end, I was not able to make like 48 instead of 45. Yeah, I can just enter it into this space. That will reflect in the yield, But for this one, I'll just leave it there. I'll select the store and then click on submit. And then this is submit. This is complete. So you can see that this took 7 minutes. You made, even go in real sense. 7 minutes, right? It might not be good to it, but at least just to give us a kind of a context for demo purpose. So if we double click on this, you see that the value is complete. And then we have our details for the product. So that concludes the production bit. We can just go to to verify some of the impact of this on the inventory. You can just go to inventory and try and see stock history. Stock history actually shows everything that's happened in the inventory within a specified date. So we're going to select today's date. So that is from today till tomorrow. So you can see that quantities of raw chicken was taken out and was taken into shop, and that was the transfer that we did before we started our production. And that's is a stock out, this is a stocking, and then the production. So this is produced out. So production, the production out means that this was involved in the production. You can see those 3 products, which were taken from the shop, and the indication is stock out, and then we have in where we finalize the production, and then we have 5 quantities of the cook drive, entered into us. So you can see the impact of this on your inventory, So I think that concludes the production management. So if you have any questions or further explanation on this, you can reach out to the customer service, and I will be happy to provide my information. Thank you for your time.